Hey everybody, this is Lain from The Happiest Nest, and I had gotten some great response on our Facebook page about these little thank you notes I put together for my customers, so I wanted to show you how to make them. I'm going to show you what I did, and then I'm going to show you a scaled down version. I am a huge scrapbooker. I actually have a business in scrapbooking, so I have a lot of specialized tools. So I'm going to make you, show you how to make one that's much simpler. So this is my card. I have a blue envelope. I've got this custom cut, it's a die cut piece of pattern paper with the scallops on the edge. These little envelopes, a thank you up at the top, and then people open it up and they pull this out and there's a little tag inside with the information about how they can get a discount on their next order. And a little bit of baker's twine there. So I'm going to show you how to do this with as few specialized tools as possible, okay? So, and then when I send this to them, I also include some of my business cards. So this is what I send out to my customers on their first order. And so let's get started and I'll show you what you need. So first you're going to need some envelopes. These are the A4 envelopes. It's really important to get the right size envelope. Too small and you're going to be disappointed. Too big and it moves around inside. So A4 is what you're looking for. You can find them at Paper Source, Michael's, Joann's, Hobby Lobby. Any craft store will carry these. And if you don't have the blue available to you, just get white. That is totally okay too. So you're going to start with the envelope. Then the next thing you're going to want is some cardstock. Cardstock, if you're not familiar with it, is like construction paper, but it's nice construction paper. It's not that yucky stuff that smells acidy that we get in kindergarten. These are sheets of cardstock, very nice heavy stock paper. Again, you can get these at any craft store, and I suggest getting them in a color that's similar to our Origami owl colors. Then how many you need is going to depend on how many cards you're going to make. So I'm just going to show you and you're going to have to figure out how many you need. Okay? Then you're going to need some pattern paper. Pattern paper is like cardstock, but it's usually a little lighter, not quite as heavy, and it's got a pattern on it, which is called pattern paper. This is some old stuff. Like I said, I'm in the scrapbook industry. I've been in the scrapbook industry for over 10 years, so this is older paper. I don't think it's available anymore. This company isn't even around. But when you go to Hobby Lobby or Michael's or something like that, you're going to see tons of patterns. So just find something, again, in our colors that kind of goes with our colors. It doesn't have to be exactly our colors, just something similar. And you can also do this with just contrasting cardstock. So if you don't have the pattern paper, you could just get the blue and the pink and the white, and that would be totally okay. But I'm using pattern paper, and this is a 12 by 12 sheet of pattern paper. Again, you can find it for like 50-60 cents at Michael's or Joann's. The next thing you're going to want is to print some kind of offer that's going to go inside your little envelope. So these right here are ones that I designed using our owl image, and then I just typed up some information. This one, Stephanie, is done in the dark gray rather than the black. That was a suggestion she had made. Always put an expiration date. If you don't put an expiration date, then there's no reason for them to buy right away, and we want them to buy. So put an expiration date on there. And this, again, is just something I put together in Photoshop. You could do this in Word. Very easy to do. Next, if we look at my card here, you'll see I have these cute little envelopes. I did not make those. I actually got a pack of 24 for like $1 or $2 at Michael's. So go to Michael's, go to the dollar aisle, and find something that that will work. They're just little tiny envelopes, and like I said, they were a pack of 24 for like $1 or $2, and they came in a pack with all sorts of coordinating colors. So find something that looks sort of origami owlish. And if there isn't anything, go generic. Go with just a craft color, which is like the tan color. This will look cute too. I'm going to use this one in the sample that I show you. Then I used a thank you stamp. I'll show you right here. You can see right here I stamped the word thank you. You could write it on there. You could stamp it on there like I did. This is a stamp from a stamp set. This is a special kind of stamp, but there are tons of stamps that you can get that say thank you on them, or you could just print it on your computer. It's not a big deal. You could print a whole sheet that says thank you, thank you, thank you in whatever font you want and stick that on there. And then this is the ink pad that I used. It's a pink that matches our Origami owl pink color. This right here is baker's twine. It's called baker's twine because it's like the red and white twine that bakers use to tie up the pink boxes of donuts. This is something you can get, you can order online. Some scrapbooking stores and craft stores will carry it. You don't have to buy this much. Like I said, I'm a professional scrapbooker, so I have tons of stuff. But again, I got this in our Origami Owl colors. If you didn't have the baker's twine on hand, you could just do this with some yarn or some ribbon. It's really simple to do. It's not a big deal. You just tie it through there and it just hangs out so people know that there's something inside the envelope, and that's why I had that coming out. So then they go, oh, what's inside? And open it up. Okay, so that's what you're going to need in terms of supplies. In terms of tools, I have my trimmer. You could use any kind of straight edge trimmer, the guillotine trimmer, or whatever you have. These are indispensable. If you're going to be doing a lot of this, invest in one of these. It's well worth it. Mine is from Fiskars. Then the next thing I have is adhesive. It's a roller adhesive. It works great for scrapbooking or any kind of crafting project. If you don't have this on hand, a glue stick will work just fine. So don't freak out over the specialized tools. Make it simple on yourself. Use what you have on hand. And again, a glue stick is going to work just fine for you. All right, so we have that. A hole punch. Again, I've got a specialized hole punch. Don't get scared by this. It's called a crocodile. It's for scrapbooking. It punches through leather and all sorts of stuff, plastic, but it's the one I prefer. So you can use just a regular hole punch or the 3-hole punch, and you'll just use one of them. That will work too. You remember we talked about the A4 envelope. The great thing about the A4 envelope is the cards that fit inside it are exactly sized to an 8.5 by 11 size sheet of paper. So the first thing we want to do is take your cards, your pattern paper, and you're going to cut it down to 8.5 by 11. I'm going to go to 8.5. I'm going to cut it there, set this aside. Then I'm going to go to 11. So if you can also buy paper that comes 8.5 by 11, and then you can totally skip this step. So this is an 8.5, 11 sheet of paper. If I cut this in 4, it's going to give me the cards. They're called panel cards that fit right inside this envelope. So that's what I'm going to do next. I'm going to cut it into 4 pieces. And you do that, half of 8.5 is 4 1/4. So I'm going to cut it at 4 1/4. And then I'm going to cut it at 5 1/2, which is half of 11. Okay, you with me so far? So you see here we got 1, 2, 3, 4. I took the paper, I just cut it in half down the middle, cut it a half each way down the edges. Now, if I were doing this with my specialized tools, I would send it through my die cut machine to get these cool edges. You don't need to do that if you don't have that. Just leave these like this. They look super cute just like this. So this is going to be the base of our card, and you can even choose if you want to use this side, or a mix of both. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to mount these little envelopes right on here like this. So I just take my tape runner. I want the flap to be out this way. It's going to come up like this. I'm just going to put a little bit of this in the back. You don't have to go crazy. And then I just eyeball it where about the middle of it is. I don't get crazy about measuring everything. So there, look, I've got my card almost recognizable right now, okay? So you're going to do that with all 4. You're going to take your little envelopes and put 1, 2, 3, 4 on each one, and then you're going to set all of those aside. All right. You're going to get your sheet of your coupons, okay? Now, again, I did this in Photoshop Elements. You can do it in Word however you want. You can handwrite them. Don't let it stress you out if you don't have the same tools I do. It's okay. The next thing I'm going to do is cut them down to size, and these are sized to fit inside those little envelopes. So whatever little envelopes you have, check what size they are and fit something, do something that's going to fit inside. I'm just going to do one right now so I don't take up the whole time on the video, but I'm just going to cut it down to size. And this is a 2 by 2 square for those little envelopes I got at Michael's. All right, we're looking cute, aren't we? 2 by 2. It's almost ready to go. Look at where this is going to go, mounted on this, slid right inside here. Now, if you're simplifying, you could just go with this if you didn't want to mount it. I think it looks cute mounted. You could just slide this in here. I would still put some ribbon or something on it so people know there's something inside. But anyway, we're getting closer. You can see the card coming together. Now, these are 2 by 2, and I know from measuring that I want these to be a little bit larger. I think it was 2 1/4 by 2 1/2. 2 by 2, and this is 2 1/2 by 2 3/4. Yes, so I'm going to cut this to 2 1/2 by 2 1/4. So anyway, I'm just going to cut this right down to size. Now look at that. I've got this strip that I can then use for more of these. 1, 2, 3 after I cut them out. But I'm just showing you one. So I've got this ready to go. What do you think the next step is? We're going to check to make sure it fits first. That's important. Yep, it fits just fine. Now we're going to punch a hole up here at the top. Again, you can do this with any kind of hole punch you have. I just happen to have this and like it. So I'm going to punch a hole right in the middle. Again, eyeball it. I'm not measuring. Now what do you think we need to do? What are we missing? We're missing our twine. So I just cut a little piece of twine. This could be ribbon. Don't go nuts over not having the same stuff I do. It's totally okay. Now I'm going to poke it through so I can make that little slip knot. Ta-da! Look how cute that is. That is adorable. I'm going to stick it in here with the little tail coming down. I like to put a little adhesive on here, but you could leave it open if you want to. I just like to put a little dab right there to hold it closed. Now I'm going to do the thank you that goes up here at the top. And I just stamp several thank yous. Ta-da! Now again, how many you do is going to depend on how many cards you're doing. And again, I'm showing you the simple way to do this. You can get as complicated, as crazy as you want. We're going to do easy. So I'm going to cut these into like little shapes like this. Whatever's easiest for you, whatever you like, whatever looks good to you, whatever is going to get it done. Then I put some adhesive on the back. I put it on there like this. And it is done. That is it. That's all it takes. Now again, if you had a corner rounder, I don't know if you know what a corner rounder is. These are all special tools for scrapbooking, and I can give you recommendations on them if you want to. It rounds the corners here, and that could add a little bit of a polished finish to this too. And then I just go like this all the way around. That looks cute, but it also looked cute just square. So don't freak out. Keep it simple. Whatever you do is going to be great to the person who receives it. Nobody sends stuff in the mail anymore. So the fact that you took the time to put this together and somebody opens it up, everybody loves opening things up, and they pull this out. How cute is that? They're going to love it. So let me know if you have any questions. Again, don't freak out. Substitute, use what you have, and have fun with it.